Okay. Okay. This is a Q&A with fan questions. Since I posted a poll and immediately got some results on some questions and I wanted to answer them. The poll is gonna be up. And also, it's just gonna be fun. And I kind of skimmed through the questions already. And most of them are, actually all of them are by two people. Well, all of them are by one person, but I also threw in a few of my own that I thought kind of went with what this other account was asking. And these questions seem actually really, really good. So if you ever ask me a question, or if you were the person to put me questions, thank you. So we're gonna start with this. Do you love what you do? And this one was done by me. Yes, 100%. I love my career. I love what I do. I wanted to incorporate one because it just seemed like something to go with everything else. But I 100% love my career. There's definitely only things I would definitely, in a way, improve. I definitely want to get farther with it, and I want to start actually, competing in dance and doing more with it and getting more followers and stuff, but there's nothing about it that I don't like. Yes, it, definitely, has its things that can be challenging, but I definitely love it. The next one is, also, this is one by me. Do you ever see a time where you won't, wait, is this one by me? Let's see. Yeah, okay. Do you ever see a time where you won't be dancing anymore? And this one is kind of a yes and a no. I feel like one day I'm definitely gonna quit. At one point I feel like I'm gonna compete in dance and I can go through a bunch. I feel like at some point I am gonna quit competing in dance, but I don't think I'll quit dancing. I feel like I'll just go into the performing in the performing acting sort of area. But I definitely think even then I feel like even when I'm performing, I'm not just gonna do hip hop. I'm gonna still keep the flexibility and keep that stuff because I love that stuff. But I don't see a time where I'll be completely done with dance. I want to incorporate that question. Okay, next question. We have two more by me. So, this one is, let's see. This one is by me, and I have one more by me. And this one I love, which is, do you have a favorite thing about your job? And this one is kind of a hard one. No, there's not really one thing that I love the most about what I do. I just love it all. And that makes sense. It's all fun. And if I had to pick one thing that I don't really like about it as much, it would be sitting down and actually writing a song on paper. But even that, that's for the reasoning of that I don't like writing. But but I definitely don't have a favorite thing because it's all so fun. So we're gonna do the last one by me. Ooh, this is the final one done by me, which is what is the best advice that you can give and to someone who wants to do what you do. This one, okay, I have a few things. I'm going to give you 4 things. This is for the people who want advice what I recommend with doing like social media, dancing, and just kind of in the career path that I am. The first thing is you gotta go, like when you are doing this, you gotta understand that not everyone's gonna like you. There's gonna be haters out there. There's gonna be people who don't want to see you succeed. And knowing that has really helped me a lot. Like I came in, like I knew doing social media that there were gonna be haters. I've been lucky. I've been really lucky and haven't really had that. Which is really good. Not saying that I don't know what like not having having haters, because I 100% know what like being hated on and bullied on, but that's never been from social media. Yeah, and that's kind of the sad part about it. Is because there's a difference between social media hate and just hate in general. Like with social media hate, you have the ability to press like 2 buttons and block someone, which keeps them from looking on your account, commenting, DMing. They have no access to even see what you're posting. But with regular hate, you don't have that. And by regular hate, I mean I'm in person, and you don't have that ability to just block them and stuff. But go in knowing that not everyone's gonna like you. That way, when someone does comment something mean, or you do get a hater, you kind of are prepared to just ignore it. Like, honestly, that's another big thing, is ignore the haters that go with that, like, because they're jealous. They're honestly just people that you have, like, I feel like with social media hate, I feel like it, like, they're jealous of you because they never had the confidence to get up and actually work hard and put in the work and put in the time to get to where you are. They're jealous of you. Like, that's a big thing. The second thing that I would definitely recommend is go in confident. Like, go in confident, be confident, because if you lose that confidence, it shows. It shows in your work. So be confident. That's the second thing. The third thing I would definitely recommend is know that it's not easy and that not always like rainbows and dreaming. Like that you definitely have to work hard and that it's not always easy. And then the fourth and final thing that I would honestly recommend is to honestly just have fun and love what you do. Because if you don't, it really makes it difficult. And I'm going to actually give you 2 more things. And because I thought of something. If you are working with like a friend or something, and understand, like when you're filming a video with a friend or something, understand there is the line of that. There is a line of that. Like when you're filming a video, there is that line of, hey, this is still a job. I'm still working my, reputation, my channel on the line or something. Like, you gotta understand that just because you're friends doesn't mean you get to give them every advantage. They, show up, for filming and stuff, you can't give your friends that upper advantage to just let them postpone things, because at the end of the day, it is a job. And the final thing would honestly be to try to do it with friends. That's something big. And do it with friends and stuff, because it makes it 10 times more fun. But at the same time, understand you can't give them every advantage. So on to the questions that aren't from me. Okay, we're gonna do this one. Okay. Wait. Okay. Is it easy doing what you do? Is it easy doing what you do? Okay, is it easy doing what you are doing with your career? And honestly, that is something that is a good question, and the answer to that is no. It is definitely not easy. It's just literally, it's not easy, but it's really fun. And so, there's been times that I definitely have been I just, I just want a break situation, but I don't because at the same time, here's the thing. When someone, this is so annoying because Bella and Skylar both have said this. And I'm not calling them out. I'm literally just saying this because I know that they are both probably watching this. And this was kind of a question that they kind of had. Not that wasn't the question there, but this goes with what the question was, which is that all the time, I do complain sometimes. And when I'm talking to Bella or Skylar, sometimes I'm I kind of just don't want to film a video today or something because it is a lot of work. A lot of work. And they're then why don't you just take a few days off? Don't film, don't post. Not a big deal. It's nothing. And I'm you don't understand it because that's not how it works. This is a job. And it's same as if I was doing a different job, You can't expect to not do the work and still get the reward. So, taking a break isn't really an option. I'll admit that there is times when I made a rule. When I first started social media, I made the rule to myself that if there's ever a time when it's getting to be way too much, I'm gonna take a break, but I'm gonna take a few hours off, breathe, or I'm gonna make a video and I'm gonna say, hey, I need to take a day off, it's just a lot of work and stuff, and it's kind of just destroying me, but I'm never, but you don't have the option to just suddenly not post. That's not an option. Because then you can naturally lose your subscribers, and I want to straighten that up. But to get back to the actual question, no, it's not easy, but yes, but it's fun, and it's definitely a lot of work. Okay, we're gonna do the next one. This one is, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Also, the reason I'm not shouting out who wrote the question is because of the fact that they kindly asked me not to. But honestly, where do I see myself in 5 years? Honestly, this one's a tough one. In 5 years, I'll be 20. I'll be a full adult. That's crazy to me. But at the same, I see myself in 5 years. Probably, at this point, I want to say in 5 years, I see myself maybe in an apartment. Probably, for me, here's the big thing, is that I'm never gonna move to LA, just like that. For me, I'm definitely gonna, find an apartment, kind of near, and probably live there for, a little bit, and then before I move to LA. Also because I could never do that to Sam. My dog Sam, I love him so much. And he loves my parents so much. And that's always worked out. And honestly, I would never do that. Also, I just, like, my family, as much as sometimes I can be really annoyed by, like, my parents and stuff, because trust me, I get annoyed sometimes over things. I still love them, and at the end of the day, I do see myself probably in 5 years getting close to moving to LA. And also, I see myself really focusing on my career, getting farther, or just with social media and with dance and with acting. And I see myself booking jobs, but also see myself with my crush. I see myself kind of at a good part of like where my career really starts to launch and become something more. And hopefully, in a way, I almost see myself working so much to where I'll like start getting paid to do YouTube and get YouTube plaques and different things. Like I definitely see myself like getting YouTube plaques and or at least one and just being paid to do social media because you know, and I see myself just being in a great, like, just loving what I'm doing. So, yeah, that's where I see myself in 5 years. I also see myself taking Bella at some point to a JoJo concert because a little bit over a year ago, or Bella said something about, like, oh, I can't believe how next year you're going to be 15 getting your driver's permit, which we are planning to do soon. And I was like, well, soon as I get my license, and I plan to save up money at some point, and I am going to set aside a day. And I'm going to work it out with her mom and stuff, and I'm going to take her to a JoJo concert. We're going to spend the night in a hotel or something, and we're going to have the greatest day ever. We're just going to have a fun day, a me and Bella day. And you know what? And if she wants to bring a friend, she can bring a friend. Because it's just going to be a fun time. I do plan to do that one day, and I promised her that, and to this day, I'm still promising her that that will happen. Okay, we're going to do this one. Are you different off camera? And this one is honestly, no. Here's the thing. Well, no, it depends. Okay. Yes and no. Off camera, I'm not really different in personality. Like, I'm very much the same person on and off camera. Except for off camera, sometimes I'm more like, oh, I'm just gonna watch YouTube, like, because there's nothing really to do. And, like, when I'm on camera, I'm, like, energetic. And, like, I'm very much, like, yes. And, like, doing what I love. And off camera, I'm that same way. But off camera, I'm like, if I need to calm down, I'll calm down and like just watch YouTube or something, and figure out how to distract myself for a little bit. But I'm the same person on and off camera, which is a very good question. Ooh, this one's a good question. And how do you stay so confident in yourself and on social media? This one, the reason I say this is a good question is because I actually have had a family member bring this up one time. Because, no, like, basically there was stuff that I'm not talking about. And literally said that they see me on social media all the time. I'm just so confident, and they could never do that, like, because I'm so confident. And that's something, like, the question was kind of like, how do you stay so confident on and off camera? It kind of, I always been pretty much confident in myself, like, that's something that's very true. I always have been very much confident in myself. I never been at a point where I'm like, I'm not confident in myself. But it definitely has improved more over the past like 2 or 3 years than than it was before. Or because in the past 2 or 3 years, I've been through a lot of drama, and that's stuff that I'm not talking about on camera. I'm not allowed to, but like after that, it also just kind of like it taught me a lot about just being confident and doing social media. Is when it really, when I first started, is when it really started, like when I really hit the high note that I'm at now with confidence, because the drama never really affected me. It always made me like just show that, hey, it happens. I'm still confident. Like it's never gotten me down. But when I started social media, yeah, I really went up on the confidence because I'm like, look at it this way. Who cares if someone's not happy with, like when people say like I'm scared to do social media, I'm like, I don't understand it because I'm like, who cares? Like social media is like a thing that I feel like can cause people like get worried about hate. I feel like definitely hate, like, but I'm like, who cares about the haters? Haters are jealous of you. They're jealous of you because they never put in the time and never put in the work or to get where you are. They're jealous because now you're living the dream and they're what? Nothing. And they're nobody since, and I'm like, if you have time in your day to hate on someone, it makes you not worth it and it makes you a nobody because like it's just rude to hate on people. But for me, just confidence, and it's just never been a thing that I questioned. It's always just like I just don't ever like get nervous about. Like I definitely do get nervous with social media, like when I'm working on a music video or something. But there's never been a point when I'm nervous about people hating on me. That's just never been a thing. I always just been pretty confident. Okay, let me see. Okay, so that is kind of the question. But I did have a few more of my own that I wanted to throw in because I like questions. I like answering them. So the next question, I'm coming up with a few of my own to throw in. So the next one is do you think you put on like a personality, like do you put on something for social media, like I make up like or like a personality or something, and this is definitely a no. Like I never, for me, I feel like with social media, it's really hard. Like it's definitely really hard to make it big on social media and stay confident and stay on a work schedule. And like with everything that I do, it's a lot and it's about to be even more because in like 3 months, I'm producing merch, which I'm excited for. And for like merch is just fun. Like I'm excited for the idea of merch. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I can't wait to show my designs and show you my design that I have and stuff. So that will come out in 3 months. And that's gonna add more to me because I have to actually make the merch. So when someone orders it, I have to I actually sit down and I make it and everything and then package it and because our merch is basically gonna be me. My dad will help out a little bit for them, taking me to the post office and I just help out a little bit, but for the most part, it's gonna be me doing it, and that doesn't bother me. That never bothers me is the thing. What I do isn't easy, okay? I'll tell you, I'm gonna be straight up on. What I do is not easy at all. Because with social media, it's so, I feel like it's almost annoying with how hard it is to make it. And I feel like there's also disadvantage for people, how some people come on and everyone loves them. And boom, overnight they have 100 or more followers. And then there's people who actually have to work harder. And the people, everyone works hard with social media. That's never been a question. Everyone works hard, except for Bella, and that's gonna change soon, hopefully. But with Bella, I'm gonna answer this real quick. And one of the questions that I came up with was plans that you know of for Bella. Bella has straight up told me before that she doesn't really want to do social media that much. She likes it, and it's nothing up against social media. She said, but it's never gonna be her main job. She said that she wants to be an astronaut, and that's great. You be an astronaut, Bella, if you want to be an astronaut. Well, first up, you gotta be good at math and a bunch of other stuff. But still, if you work hard enough at it, you can be an astronaut. And that's totally fine. But I feel like at the same time, if I fully explain it to Bella and really kind of give her more info, here's the thing. I feel like Bella was never taught properly. She was never taught properly how to handle it. Here's the thing, and I'm 15 and I'm handling it pretty good. Another big thing that I'm going to cover is being front and center, controlling it all. That's what so with Instagram, there's the DMs, and there's two types. There's the, premiere or something in the, I don't know. But there's, the general or something, some other, type. And when there's some that you have, a type that you have to accept, I try not to look at them. Because, no, I found, okay, let me actually check so I get them straight. There's the premiere and then there's the general. General, I don't ever see okay, so how it works is that with the general, I try to delete all of them. At first, I was actually checking them and But with the general, you have to accept them. And that being front and center, like doing social media, I see it all. Like, here's the thing. Like, I feel like if, like, my dad was running the accounts or something, and, like, I wouldn't see everything. I wouldn't see the hate comments or different things, which I've been lucky I haven't really gotten hate comments. But the general, don't, like, just don't ever accept them. Just delete them. Because sometimes it's creepy stuff, and sometimes it's just normal stuff. But I never really had someone like, and there's been one time when like I actually had someone that I knew was 100% like safe, like because from the general messages, and that was a family member, and that was because their account was private and stuff. But yeah, like because there's some weird stuff in the general messages, and at first I thought it was just me at first that was just getting, and by weird stuff, I mean like there's creepy stuff in there, like I, I, to be honest, I can't remember what any of it is, to be honest, but like, but I can remember that, like, a few things I accepted at first, and then I realized, oh wait, this stuff is primarily, like, creepy. I'm just gonna delete them all. And then, on Success with Jess. On Success with Jess, JoJo's mom's podcast, as she was interviewing Bella Waninger or something, I forget her last name. And like someone named Bella pretty much. And Presley Hossback. And they were talking about how they're allowed to like pretty much run their accounts, but they aren't allowed to open the general message because some of the stuff in there are creepy and unliked. So it's not just me, it's a normal thing. Like, but yeah, with social media, I feel like when you're front and center, there's no hiding anything. And that was something about me and Bella. And like, in a way, I come front and center. And it's nothing up against Bella. I feel like, in a way, I feel like her mom or like someone, like an adult or someone older, should be kind of running her account. And by that, I mean ultimately Bella should have full control. But I feel like when it comes to like messages and like what people DM her and that sort of stuff, I feel like that stuff should be checked because when you're 8 years old, like and seeing like there's with social media, hate can get to an extreme point. And I feel like I feel like pretty much Bella hadn't properly been taught, and that makes sense. Like she hadn't properly been taught how to handle the hate, and this is honestly true because and no, I'm gonna tell you. Sorry. So when she was down this summer, we had just finished filming. I wish I would have told him sooner. The music video. No, I mean screaming in my head. I keep thinking like, sorry. I wish I would have told him sooner. Isn't out yet. Coming out the beginning of summer. But we were we had just finished like just getting back into like just comfiness and just, like normal stuff, like not extreme makeup and like we took our makeup off and I was getting ready to like kind of just go through, edit the video a little bit, and honestly, this one is true. Well, basically what happened was I had to block someone on Instagram. Because, no, and it wasn't for a bad reason. No, what literally happened was that someone DM'd me and they went like, hey, sorry not to be rude, but like, my sister had my account, like my sister had my phone, so the person you were DMing was my sister, not me, and you're not my style, but like, you're not my style, I'm gonna block you, but like, I'm not trying to be rude. And I'm like, so I replied like, great. Well, no, I literally just went like, great. And I'm gonna block them. And I would block them back. It was never anything bad. You know? It was never anything bad. And Bella, like, took it, like, in a different way. She went, like, you should unblock them. And I'm like, why? She's like, you should unblock them. And DM them. And go off on them a little. And just tell them, like, you're being rude and that it's not nice. And I'm like, I'm blocked. And she's like, so? And I'm like, they're not gonna see that. And Bella, that's not how you handle it. Like if you're in hate or you're in a situation where you need to block someone, you don't go after them. That's the first rule about hate. Never reply to the hate. Don't reply to it. You're wasting your time at this point because they're just going to go off on you more and it's just going to become a thing. You just nicely block them and you forget about them. That's honestly true. Like, you nicely block them and you forget about them. And in ways like, I mean, and it's not me trying to be rude. I feel like Bella's just at the age to where maybe, if I feel like I'm fine if Bella were taught, if that makes sense, like how to handle the hate, because that like moment just kind of showed me like, oh wait, she doesn't know how to handle all this. Someone needs to teach her. If she were taught, then I would be like, okay, she can be full control. But when you're front and center, you see it all. Every message I get, every DM, everything that happens with any of my accounts, my dad doesn't see. Well, unless it's in my channel. Then he sees it because all of our devices are under the same account. But yeah. Like, I'm the one saying it. No, so like if you leave a hate comment, I'm gonna see that. And for me, I just ignore the hate. So that can be this video.